Okay, so initially I wasn't going to do a video on the whole Noctafly situation, but I recently looked through the comments on Riot's video, and it was pretty depressing. I'll get to them later though. First, I think a bit of context is necessary. Noctafly had been in hot water before as well with hacking accusations. For example, not too long ago Tosh Deluxe made a video where he accused Noctafly of hacking Death Corridor. The video was really just a glorified editing tutorial, and Tosh also apparently thinks that YouTube comments count as evidence. But this video isn't about Tosh Deluxe. The way he engages in discussion really makes it not worth my time to deal with him, so let's move on. So Riot made this video exposing Noctafly, and immediately there were two sides to this in the comments. The reason people were skeptical of Riot is because he did a bad job of explaining his points. For his first argument, which relates to the cut in Zafkiel, he says that the background resets to the original position every time you restart a level.
When you start a level, from what I've experienced from my testing, when you start a level, the background always starts in the same place.
This really puts into question Riot's ability to research, because anyone who is even slightly observant will know that the background does not jump to its original location when you restart. I was honestly a bit stunned when I heard him say this, because it's such a basic mechanic that you can notice when playing through any level. I think him presenting this flawed argument right out of the gates lost him a lot of credibility. I'm not getting into his other arguments because, they were all good except for the odd editing error. Now, let's get into Noctafly's response real quick. If you want to watch this video, I recommend you put it at half speed because the editing is so fast paced, it's hard to keep up with what he's saying. I'm not sure whether this is due to incompetence or if it's him trying to bombard you with arguments to make it seem like he has a strong case, while in actuality he doesn't. The best part of this video isn't the arguments he presents though, it's the ending bit where he responds to some comments. He says he's being cyber harassed because Riot put a red cross on his profile picture in the thumbnail. Yes, you heard that correctly. Apparently Noctafly is such an emotional wreck that putting a cross over his profile picture completely demolishes him. I guess that means I'm harassing Lithofusion right now.
Is that sexual harassment?
In the last 3 seconds of the video, Noctafly tries to deter Riot from responding to his video, probably because he knows he's full of shit. And this is where things start to get bad, because people get really hung up on this statement Riot made. Riot did end up responding to Noctafly, of course, because people really believed he was legit. I'm not going to talk about the video itself here though. He does a good enough job debunking Noctafly's points this time around. But I do want to take a look at the comments, like I said before. So, the majority of the comments on this video are either "I'm confused" or "Who cares?" Being confused about the situation is understandable because the evidence that's being discussed is pretty complicated and it requires some knowledge about the game mechanics. It's the people who are apathetic towards the issue that I want to address. For example, here is Etzer leaving a beautiful nugget of insight. Etzer, you fucking idiot. It matters because Nocta hacked his way to the #1 spot on the leaderboards. He gained respect and a large subscriber base for his achievements. And he collects ad revenue for his faked videos. That's the problem. Why do I even have to explain this? I see this kind of attitude all the time whenever there's drama, and I think it's damaging for the community. You can't just ignore it when people lie and cheat their way to the top. Those issues need to be addressed and resolved. The same goes for the whole Fusion Z thing. If nobody had spoken up, the original level would have gone up, against the will of like half of its creators. Drama may be unpleasant, but sometimes it's necessary to talk about in order to prevent injustice. We put suspected criminals on trial for the same reason. And I'm not trying to compare Geometry Dash to a court of law, but you get the point.
No!